Okay, so guys, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to try to find some perks that work well with the new barbed wire gear. Henry's supposed to join us here pretty soon. You're facing the wrong way, Sandwich. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, so today I'm going to be playing with Sandwich and Henry. Sandwich is here, say hello.
Yo.
And here's Henry, say hello.
Hello.
I went ahead and grabbed some perks that I thought would work well with this new barbed wire gear, but do you guys have anything that you would like to mention?
I don't have barbed wire.
Yeah, let's go to the perks really quick. Let me equip the barbed wire. The new gear added to the game slows the slasher when near. So basically you place this thing on the ground and if the slasher happens to walk over it, it slows them. Okay, pretty self-explanatory, but we're going to be pairing some perks with that today. I'm pretty sure that people who are going to be using this barbed wire gear are going to be probably either looping or rotating. One of the two. Some people were trying to come up with some infinite loop strategies I was looking at in the chat. I was thinking, since that was going to be the case, I'm going to put on adrenaline, and I think adrenaline is going to be a decent perk for this barbed wire gear. Other than that, just to be able to place multiple barbed wires all over the place, probably spare battery, solar battery, maybe even a threat sensor. If you're going to be rotating with this thing, it'd be nice to have this on. But I'd probably go with solar battery or spare battery if you really want to recharge it. Maybe adrenaline or ninja. I don't know if anyone said this before. I want to brush your mustache, Henry. The way you looking at me. I think I scared him.
Welcome to the JMT crew, where we get nothing done.
Literally. All in all, can we just talk about the barbed wire really quick? I think it is not a good gear. What the hell? A lot of people having mixed opinions on this specific gear. Let me get in the middle here. The way that I'm looking at the gear and actually just using it the one time for showing it off in the update video that we did, it doesn't look like a good gear to use. If it did, like, if it would slow the slasher more than what it normally does right now, because we'll go ahead and show what this barbed wire does, like how slow it actually slows the slasher, it doesn't really slow it too much. If it did go ahead and do more than what it does right now, then I'd probably go ahead and use it. But other than that, there is plenty of other gear that I would use instead of this thing. Rack Jumper said that people who are going to be... Where did Henry go? Said that people who like to use the trap gear are going to like to use this barbed wire. And all in all, I think you lied. Not a good gear. I don't suggest people to use it right now. They might do some changes in the future, but let's go ahead and use this gear and just show you guys everything about it. And then we'll match it up with some of the perks. What it needs to do, I feel like, to be just a better gear in general, is that it needs to slow it. It needs to slow the slasher way more than what it does right now. Because right now, you know when you use the flare gear, it kind of like slows them down a bit, and then they regain their vision, and they can continue. What?
Jackets are out right now.
Sandwich. We're doing a video on the barbed wire.
Yeah, but jackets.
So the flare, what we were talking about before, when it stuns the slasher, they have that little walk animation, they have to walk through the flare. It's pretty much that slow, consistent. Sandwich. Okay, so we have the slasher right next to us. What we're going to do is we're going to show you guys how slow the slasher walks through the flare, because that's pretty much the same as walking through the barbed wire. So I'll place the barbed wire right there. Okay, so do you want to drop your flare by the slasher? So that's you see how slow he's walking right there? That's pretty much how slow they walk through this barbed wire. So we'll have the slasher come over to the barbed wire now. So the barbed wire is right in front of me. You can see it there. So this is how slow he walks through it. Pretty much just like getting stunned by the flare. So it's just a little effect of him walking through until he regains his speed. So here's the thing. If that's the case, Slasher, can you get out of here, bro?
Oh, I thought you said hog ride.
Why wouldn't you just use the flare over the barbed wire? The only reason I can see you using the barbed wire over the flare is because you can, like, place it down permanently. But the Slasher can break the barbed wire, can't he, Henry? Doesn't it take, like... It takes, like, 2 hits to break the barbed wire, I'm pretty sure.
Should have tested that.
We should have tested that.
But I don't know if you noticed, but the flashbang had a much more wider area of effect of the killer being slowed, whereas only around the barbed wire was the slasher being slowed, so...
Yeah, it's really not as effective as just using a flare. I would rather use a flare, especially because, like, even if you are rotating or looping and you have, I think a flare would be a better gear anyways than using a barbed wire. So barbed wire, I don't think it's a no-go, bro. But for the perks that we're going to be looking at today, could possibly help out the situation for using this said barbed wire. Like we said before, probably going to be basing these perks off of how you're going to rotate and loop with this thing.
What?
With this thing. This is just like the trap as well. Henry mentioned you can't place it to another barbed wire, so So you can't stack it, unfortunately. That's what we wanted to test out before. It's just like placing the traps on the ground. So you have to be like over here. I can't even place it right here. You got to be a far distance away to be able to place these barricades. Or, yeah, what are they called? Barbed wires?
Barbed wire.
Yeah, wow, I am. Jesus, I need a coffee. But the perks that we mentioned, Adrenaline would probably help you out. Ninja would probably help you out as well if you want to use the barbed wire to try to make a little sneaky escape. And then being able to have Ninja on so you wouldn't get tracked after they run into the barbed wire. That would probably work out. But other than that, I'd probably just place a bunch of these around your rotation pattern, which is why I suggested solar battery or spare batteries, because those two would help you out quite a bunch in using this gear.
Can we also test to see if the slasher can be slowed by the flashbang while in barbed wire, or...
Oh, like if it adds on the effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. So now we're just going to do a few more tests with the barbed wire, and that should pretty much wrap up this video of just explaining the barbed wire in general and what could, you know, what could possibly be used with it if you wanted to make it a better gear. Other than that, use something else. So what we're going to do is we're going to test if someone is using the flare when it adds on the slow effect for the slasher. If they then walk into a barbed wire, will that stack? If it does stack, then if you pair with other people, this actually could be pretty useful, you know, in rotation patterns. But if it doesn't, it just makes it even more of a gear. I'm gonna go ahead and place the barbed wire right here, and now we will have the slasher man come do that. Do you want to place your flashbang like right here? You can go ahead and do it now. Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yep. I almost just killed myself. Okay, so now he's slowed by that, and then he's slowed by the barbed wire, which doesn't add on, so he's pretty much the same the entire time.
Doesn't stack the speed, but it can increase the area of which he's slowed by.
But yeah, I think it does widen the range for slowing a slasher. We're going to go ahead and test now to see how many hits the slasher can break the barbed wire, because I'm pretty sure you can break the barbed wire. So that's 1. And that's 2. So yeah, it takes 2 hits to remove the barbed wire, so they can pretty much just get rid of it right away.
Bring that ass here, boy.
Alright guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this video, kind of explaining the barbed wire in general, some perks that could work with it to make it a decent gear, and then kind of testing the barbed wire out just to see if it does stack, its slowness, and if it breaks, which it does break for a 2 hit. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for me. My name's JMT, and I will see you in the next one. You want to say peace out as well, Sandwich?
No, not really.
Okay, see you guys.